Spectrum of Us podcast.
Chaos and comedy, where we explore life on the spectrum.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jennifer.
In each episode, we dive deep into life surrounding neurodivergence, exploring the complex and often comical dynamics between society, family, education, and more.
Through building understanding, we hope to build a community. So like and subscribe for more chaos and comedy as we explore life behind the scenes of neurodiversity.
We talked a little bit in our last episode about, me apologizing for not understanding how tired people are, but and what it's like dealing with that. I think it's really important that if we have, I don't know if this is going to be a long conversation, but talk about like what travel is like. When you have a neurodiverse child.
So I wanted to talk about this today because it came up yesterday, talking to my friend who has a profoundly autistic kiddo, younger than Jack, but it's kind of interesting and cool for us to have conversations, she and I, because being able to like compare and contrast here we both have kids on the spectrum, but she's dealing with a more profoundly autistic experience, and I'm dealing with a autism level 1-2 / ADHD kind of kiddo, right? And there's a big controversy out there right now about like how they shouldn't even be like called the same thing, because there's such a vast difference between dealing with a profoundly autistic kiddo versus a kiddo who has level 1 autism.
Yeah. Yes.
And there is.
Yes,
there's no doubt about that. And so there's a lot going on about that. So it's very interesting to me because I'm always researching. I'm just always learning, and being able to have, one-on-one access all the time to a friend who's, on this journey with her, little guy.
Right.
And me being on it, never having been on it with a profoundly impacted kiddo. I've only seen them, I've dealt with them in school, but I haven't, had somebody in my personal circle.
Right. You just like
I mean, your sister is dealing with it, but like I didn't come around until he was an adult.
Yeah.
And so, I'm aware of a lot of the challenges that can be presented, but I haven't had this kind of ability to have just day-to-day conversations or, story comparisons or whatever. So yesterday, she also works with us, and so she was going to come on a trip with us, and for work, but that's very challenging because when you have a kiddo who has profound autism, it's a challenge just trying to find a caregiver to help you every day for a certain period of time, just so that you're not on 24/7, right? And so being able to go out of town, her and her husband, they just had a newborn. She could find somebody for the newborn, right? Everybody wants to take care of a baby.
Right.
But the challenges with a 5-year-old kiddo who has the challenges he has is significantly different. And so she was hoping that like the bio dad, the ex person, would take a couple extra days, and it falls over his weekend, and would take a couple extra days, so that he could just go to his dad's. But as we know, like we talked about, one parent gets the luxury of participating when they feel like it, and the other one, whoever is the one who took primary custody, they're kind of at the mercy of whatever help they do get. And so she was frustrated yesterday because, of course, this guy is, wasn't interested in doing any more than what his allotted time was. Wasn't interested in having the kiddo for more time. Probably would love to have the kid for more time if it was on his terms, but because it would be helpful for her, forget it. And so she was frustrated with that. And then I said, because I had never really asked her this specifically, so I wasn't sure what the situation was. I suspected, but I thought, well, I should ask. I said, because I didn't want her to be making a decision based on what she thought would be okay with us or not. So I said, so I'm guessing bringing him with you is not an option, because if you're not bringing him just because, like, you think it wouldn't be professional, or you think that it wouldn't be okay with us, or we couldn't figure it out, like,
that's not it.
That's not it.
This is
we help you figure it out.
This is the group you want to be with.
Bring. Yeah, we figure it out, man. Deal with whatever. And she goes, oh, yeah, no. We don't travel with him. We really can't, because, leaving his routine gets him so dysregulated. Travel, especially, will get him so dysregulated that he, I think she said that it's like a minimum of 5 nights of no sleep. There's the trip, right? And during the trip, he'll get so dysregulated that he won't eat, he won't sleep, and they have to carry him everywhere. So he's 40 pounds now. I mean, he's smaller for a 5-year-old, but I don't even want to carry a 40-pound-year-old toddler, much less. That's a lot. That's hard.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's physically.
No, that's physically a lot.
Challenging.
You haven't even gotten to the other parts.
Yeah. And then when they get back, minimum of 5 nights to get him regulated, where they are not sleeping because they're taking shifts, right? Because he's still not sleeping, and they're trying to get him back into his routine and his schedule. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes so much sense. And she goes, and, there's also the fecal smearing that's not exactly Airbnb friendly. And I'm like, that's right, I forgot about that. I mean, not to be insensitive, but she had told me that before. I just wasn't remembering that piece. And it, for anybody out there who's like, oh my gosh, that's very, very common for kids on the spectrum. And sometimes it goes away and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Sometimes
it gets better, so it only happens sometimes. There's just, of course, it's one of the things that anybody hopes, we can get it under control. But, that makes things even more challenging, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's already any medical needs you have. There's already the behavioral needs that you have. There's the communication issues that you have. There's, all kinds of things going on. But then that can add a layer where it's like, we don't want to deal with that, So, so she was saying that, and I was like, that's funny. Even though I'm not dealing with those same challenges when travel, I go, we have recently started having the thought that we're not quite sure how much more traveling we're going to be able to do with Jack, because we were like, the dysregulation was worth the destination.
Yes.
So we would have some dysregulation, but we thought we were finding ways to tolerate the dysregulation, get through it, and then be settled and experience the destination or the experience, so that the dysregulation on the side of the travel to and the dysregulation on the side of the travel back was worth the experience.
Yes.
I said, but that used to definitely be the case going to Hawaii, so we would stay in Hawaii longer so that we could get past the dysregulation and then get into the peace. I said, because he would regulate better than he ever had.
Yes. In
that location. So it was kind of like, well, it sucks getting there, but then once we're there, he's better than ever. I said, until this last time. And that didn't happen this last time.
Yeah,
And
I have a
and it
thought on that
sucks.
too.
It also sucks because, like, he's in this life. He's going down this road of this life, with the e-bike life, where he wants to go to rides, and there's a travel requirement for the most part. I mean, requirement not, but if you want to go to the cool rides, they're going to be all over the country. It's like what Tunes does.
It's getting out.
They go because, well, different times of the year they're meeting in a different place, and so like this time of year they're going to start going to more northern climates because it's cooler but warm and dry. Down here it's desperately hot, so forget about it. Nobody wants to go on a ride out in Dallas in August. Okay, that's not happening. But you'd want to do a ride out in Dallas in October or November.
Yeah.
So they geographically kind of follow throughout the year where different climates are more amenable, and then it brings this community that's all over the United States to locations every month or two where they get to see the same people again, right? So it's a really cool experience, whether you're a motorcycle rider or you're in cars or now e-bikes. But it's similar for all of them. If anybody watches NASCAR, they know that the races, like racing season goes from like, I think March through November, December. So it's only like 2 months off, 3 months off. But you notice on the calendar that it's like in March, April, May, it's like in southern areas, Miami, Daytona. There's like different ones, Arizona, California. But then as you go into the summer months, they start going up to the northern locations.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
So anything where you're going to be, it's an automotive, motorcycle, motocross, any of those things where you're going to be outside and utilizing some type of transportation, you go across the United States for it if you want to really experience it. And so I'm like, great. So Jack's in this world, just getting into it. And we're also realizing that like travel is dysregulating him more longer, and it's becoming harder to come back from, and we're not finding ways yet to combat it. And there's a lot of things that can be going on, and so we're gonna still keep. But I will say that we, for the first time, are having these questions. Like, it used to not even be a consideration. I was just like, oh, Jack can just come with me to Seattle back and forth, if he wants to be with me or if he wants to stay here.
Right.
Doesn't matter, or if you go to Seattle and he wants to see somebody, he can just go with you. And now it's like, I don't think Jack should probably go on those trips to Seattle. Somebody's going to have to stay here with him. We're having to genuinely consider if it's worth it to put him on that plane, or even even when we went on the road trip, I thought that would be easier. Nope.
Well, I think that what I'm seeing, and I could be wrong, 'cause this is also absolutely freshly new.
Yeah.
But I think that with all the stuff that he already has, he's also going through puberty.
Oh, I know.
So that's like rancid. So
it's ratcheting it up even harder.
He's always had issues with transitions.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's like 10 times the issues now.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it just goes back to transitions and travel do not go together, right? Like they are. You cannot travel without transitions.
Right. Correct. It's just a part of it. It's a part of it.
Given. Yeah. Right. So if you're going to travel, you're going to have transitions. If you have a kiddo who's not tolerating transitions, depending on the level of that lack of tolerance, it starts to impact how much you're able to expose them to, starts to impact your travel as a family, your other kids' experiences. I mean, think of it like this. Most people are like thinking, oh, I can't wait to take my kids to Disneyland and have them experience, Disney World, Disneyland, whatever, right? And me too. And then I had these kids and I dragged them to Disneyland the first time when Savvy was 10, Jack was 3 or 4, and Bubba was about 17, 18. And my older two were grown at a level where neither one of them, it was interesting because here I was like their whole life I was thinking, oh, I want to get them to Disneyland, and then I'm like, hey, you guys, I know you're adults, but you want to come to Disneyland? And they're like,
most of the time
I'm good.
Yeah.
No, don't want to go. And I was like, how can you not want to go to Disneyland? Until I remembered that my second one is so overstimulated by like he's never liked rides. He doesn't go to the fair. He doesn't go on water slides, like nothing. He never has. The anxiety that it creates for him is beyond. And then my oldest one, like crowds and a lot of people and heat, that doesn't sound like fun to him.
Yeah.
At all. And so I'm like, okay, understand why you wouldn't want to. Feeling bad, thinking to myself, I should have gotten them there when they were kids because now they don't want to go. Oh my gosh. Fast forward to, we've been to Disneyland several times since then. Now, that trip was miserable, let me just say.
Mm-hmm.
Huge surprise for me because me and my sister, we went every other year growing up, and we were addicts. Like they limited us to every other year because my mom was like, you can't go every year. Because we lived in California, so it's pretty easy to go. And she was just like, we got to give it a year in between to miss it. We were like, but do you? Says who? Right. But that first trip, I'm expecting, I've got a 3-4-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 17, 18-year-old. We're going to have a blast. Yeah. Misery. So my 3-4-year-old was overstimulated. That's Jack. He was overstimulated. This is before we knew anything was going on. We just knew that things were hard with him. Now looking back, I'm like, oh, he was so overstimulated by the heat, the people, the expectations, the waiting, all the things. That was not fun for him. My 10-year-old little girl, she gets exhausted so quickly in social situations. So again, crowds, lots of people, all of us as a family, and we had some extended family there. Like, her nervous system was on fire. Even though she wanted to be there, she was super excited. Disney princess, all the things, right? We did the bippity boppity boutique thing, where she got to be the princess, and it was for her birthday. And she was so excited to be there, and she wanted to be there. And at that time in her life, she loved rides. So all those things were in her favor, but her nervous system was on fire from the crowds and the heat and the everything, and then all of us. And being in a hotel room, crammed in with me, her dad, her older brother, her little brother, we're all in one hotel room together, like, whoo, this is a little girl who's always needed to be in her own room. She needed to have a big room because she needed to have enough space from everybody. And she spends hours in her room, not on video games, not doing weird things or anything like that. Nothing that worries you. She's just, her autism is so much that she needs all that decompression time. And so she does her little crafts and her quiet and her
how she
everything.
Regulates herself.
Yeah. So now she's, got nowhere to go to regulate. And so she got miserable pretty quick, but she tried to keep it together. And then my oldest one, he was at a place in his life where he didn't give a fuck about nobody's comfort. And so, he was uncomfortable immediately and started acting wrong. And, we were like, go do something by yourself. Bye. So we didn't get the experience of like, this was the best trip ever. In fact, when we left, my ex-husband at the time, who had never been to Disneyland, was like, I don't understand the hype.
He never wanted to go back and probably never did.
No, he was like, I'm good. I don't understand. And now I know he's probably on the spectrum too. So I'm sure it was like all the things problem for him. But, you know, and I'm pissed because, see, for my ADHD, Disneyland is amazing.
I can go, all the places, all the things to do
for days, you know, and then I'm actually tired at the end of the day and I sleep really good, or I go take a swim in the middle of the day and refresh and come back for another round too, you know, like I'm just like ding 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 ding. But yeah, that wasn't the experience for the rest of my family. So kind of misery. But we've gone back several times since then because I thought at the time it was the people we were with that were the problem. Mm-hmm. And so we just needed to rewrite that experience and try again with the right people. I will say it was better, of course. I think we went to Disney World for the first time. Isn't that where you went? You didn't go to Disneyland for the first time? You went to Disney World for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? Let's not even go to Disneyland. Let's go to Disney World. None of us have been to Disney World. This is our family now. You know, I know more about the kids and everything. And this was only a few years ago. And that was rough too.
It was rough.
It was way more. You weren't there obviously for the last experience, and Savvy and Jack would both attest to the fact that way more enjoyable than our Disneyland experience.
I didn't like not having anything to measure it with. I could tell that as far as the kids, mm-hmm. that they were.
This wasn't the best experience for all of them.
It was this. It was that. Yeah, they had a better experience, I think, at Disneyland, and this is after, and I can only speak for myself, after I had like more information
about our kids,
and understanding what I was seeing, that by the time we actually made it to...
Well, because the only reason we decided to try Disneyland, because Disney World was like, okay, I'm glad we did that, and they all had this experience, but I don't think we need to do it again. And we really contemplated whether we wanted to do Disneyland. And what we decided was to try Disneyland because of the information we had about our kids at that point. And try it in such a way that would help it be more enjoyable for everyone.
I thought from me personally, it was not comparable to Disney World to the Disneyland. When we did Disneyland and like again have a better understanding of our kids and what their needs were. Mm-hmm. Such a
and I mean for sure, having so much more information and understanding on what our family needs to travel together and what the individual kids need when we travel made a huge difference. And has made a lot of positive changes. Like, for example, growing up, we always stayed in a hotel room together, mom, dad, me, sister. And so that's the only way I ever traveled. We had a vacation house in Tahoe. Mm-hmm. So we went to a house there, and we traveled to Hawaii for half the year, practically. To our condo there, but it wasn't. But if we went anywhere for like a vacation, it was a hotel room. But it was one hotel room. We all shared it. And when you and I started traveling with the kids, we were like, okay, we'll just get 2 hotel rooms because there's 4 kids, right? 2 grown-ups, 4 kids. You take one room, I'll take the other room. And we did that exactly 2 times, and I thought, I hate these people.
Yeah.
I never want to travel with any of them ever again. I don't even know if this relationship's going to work, because if we can't travel together, I just don't know. I mean, I was like, after the second time we traveled together in hotels, I was like, no. And then we went to an Airbnb because the location we were going to hotels weren't an option. And I was like, oh, I should get an Airbnb for us. Not even thinking. And when I got the Airbnb and we traveled, all of a sudden everything was different. And it was the first time I enjoyed traveling with our new family. And it was like light bulb moment where I went, oh, makes sense, because our kids are so much on the spectrum, ADHD, whatever, and all need their own space. We don't just get a giant house with a bedroom for every single person because we're trying to overindulge them. It's survival and it's enjoyment. We're going to go on a vacation. We're going to go see something or experience something. It's not going to be any good memories if people aren't going to be able to be comfortable and decompress and have the accommodations that they need to enjoy that trip at their best level possible. So I walked away from that trip and I went, okay, got it. Note to self, we're not allowed to travel in hotel rooms together. We have to get Airbnbs. We have to be in a house where everybody can have their own space, their own decompression area. That's just what we have to do. Even though, like, our kids maybe at home can tolerate sharing a room, they cannot tolerate it when we're traveling.
Yeah.
And that's because everything else is already going on.
Right. They need, each one of them has their own way of regulating themselves.
Yeah.
And having their own space to do so is super important.
Right. Because if they have to share the space, then they're invading each other's ability to you know, calm their nervous system, regulate, and be ready for tomorrow. So we've been pretty successful keeping that rule in place wherever we go. And then we've learned along the way how each one of them prefers to travel, how much they prefer to travel, you know, how long of a plane ride can each one of them tolerate. You know, so we've had to change, you know, what we would have wanted to show them and experience with them. And I think there's a certain mourning that occurs, you know, because you have these dreams of what you want to show your kids, and then you have the ability to do it, and then you find out that, or you recognize or realize that your kid is not going to take from that what you want them to, because their disabilities are going to prevent them from being able to experience it the way that in your mind you envision them experiencing it. And there's a mourning that goes on, you know, like she was saying yesterday. She says, yeah, I always wanted to take him to Disneyland, but I kind of had to abandon that, you know, that dream, because
she doesn't currently see a way out of that.
Right, because she's like, all I see is dysregulation, not enjoying, you know, not, you know, getting out of it what her dream is for him to get out of it, right? That reconciliation is very hard, because you, even with your children with disabilities, it's hard to let go of some of the, you have to let go of so much. You have to let go of every preconceived idea you had about what parenting is, what childhood is like, what this journey is going to look like, every stage, what it's supposed to look like, everything. It's like you feel like you have to let go of every dream, idea, thought, goal, and you're rewriting it as you're raising the kid, trying to learn what your limitations are for them, what their limitations are. And it's just another one of those things. It's another one of those things where you're like, and here we are with another thing that I thought was going to be cool and fun. And it doesn't matter if it's I wanted, you know, I have lots of money and I wanted to travel the world with them, or if it's I don't have any money, but growing up we took road trips and you know, we went camping and we did all these things that are really cheap, because even that you may have to, you know, it's not about where you're going to travel to. It's showing them things.
It's what you want to show them what makes you happy, and you want to
share it with
that
them.
Experience that you have.
Yeah.
You want them to have the same experience.
Yeah, you're hoping that you're going to have similar feelings about things that you love, and once you show it to them, they're going to love it too. And you don't expect them to love everything you love. But I would say a typical family's experience is that they get a lot of experiences with things that they love, sharing them with their kids, and their kids love it, and they get to share those with their kids. And we don't get that. We don't get that.
No.
And it's something that people don't realize.
Well, I was just going to say
how much you feel like you lose.
No, it's not even just that we don't get to do that. It's you don't get to share. There's no new ones either. No. Because they're
right.
You want to keep them in their space where they can operate, and because they don't operate outside their space, and that could be very, very small. And you want your child to be able to expand. They just don't have. They don't have the tools.
I just had to
expand.
say that to you about your son. You know, because you were like, you know, you've always taken the kids and, you know, just for the day, right? Like, you're like, I'm going to take them, I'm going to show them something new, I'm going to look at something. Well, you and your youngest, you guys thrive on that. Love it. Taste new foods, new smells, new sights. You know, like, both of you have the ADHD thing that is like, give me all the new experiences like I do. Like, everything's a new adventure, always, unless there's some significant reason, always up for it, right? Your son is just, it's a lot of work for him. Yeah. It's a lot of nervous system work for him to be dragged out of the house and go somewhere and see the things and do the things. And in your mind, you're showing him all these things, and I'm watching it from the outside, and I'm like, he's not watching, Kev. He's on his phone because his phone regulates him, keeps his nervous system somewhat under control, and you've just taken him out of his comfy space in the house. Told him he's going to get in the car, and he knows he's going to, so he goes along. He doesn't say no unless you give him the option. But every time you give him the option, the answer is no, unless it's the bookstore.
Right.
If it's the bookstore or the comic book store, we're going.
Yeah.
But anywhere else, it's like, no, I'm good. So if you're taking him somewhere else, he's going to go. But whether he knows it or not, and whether anybody's paying attention or not, his phone is what regulates him and keeps him, you know, somewhat functioning, you know, and being able to tolerate it, right? Like, that's a lot of stimulation. That's a lot of outside input. That's a lot of all the things going on. And for him, this is not exciting like it is to you. This is not energizing like it is to you and her. This is exhausting. This is draining. This is all the things. So, like, when we go on vacation with him, and I know that this happens when he goes on vacation with anybody else too, because he talks about it, or other people talk about it. He's back at the hotel room like 2-3 hours into whatever the day's events were, right? And I used to get irritated about it because I was just like, why did we bring this kid on vacation if all he's going to do is sit in the hotel room the whole time? But now I know, because he's exhausted.
Yeah.
And he'll say, I'm so tired. I'm like, okay, stop. You know, because kids are always like, I'm so tired. And so you're like, keep going. Right? But this is a different, that's the only way he can identify it. This is a different kind of exhaustion he's talking about. My daughter goes through it too, but she was better at verbalizing, but we also talked about things more, where it'd be like, we would call it peopling, you know? She's like, I'm done peopling.
I'm done peopling.
I need to go. I need to be in my room, and everybody needs to leave me alone. And, you know, we knew from a long time ago that, you know, she would tolerate the peopling, but then depending on how much peopling was required would directly impact how much decompression was required. You know, so more peopling, longer decompression time afterwards. So I started recognizing that that's what's going on with him. And so now I'm like, I mean, still, yes, I'm going to consider, should we even make him go?
Well,
But
I definitely
also,
have gotten to that point where
yeah,
I'm like, when we communicate, I give him options,
yeah,
and 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 I
and
don't.
try not to get your feelings hurt when he doesn't
Yeah,
want to go.
right. Thank you for saying that, because that's
'Cause it
exactly what I was going to
sucks.
say. I want to make it true options and not just
Right.
the fake one. Like, I really want you to do this, but
Yeah.
it's okay. No, true options are,
Because you want to experience these things.
Yeah.
This is your only son, right?
Mhm.
Like with me and my girl.
Yeah.
There's all these things that, if you only have one
Yeah.
who's the same sex as you, there's more ideas of things that you thought you were going to experience together.
I've come to the point where I know that I'm going to share with what he likes, and that every once in a while I'll try to integrate something new, but I try to find enjoyment in his regular routine,
Yeah.
because it makes him smile, and I do the
Right.
same thing with Jack.
Well, and seeing
I'm
that
not
dysregulation
yeah.
and the exhaustion that comes from it, you recognize if you're being honest with yourself, how selfish it was to make them go through that.
Yeah.
And for what? Because they didn't get out of it what you wanted them to get out of it. You didn't get out of it what you wanted to get out of it. And now they're exhausted and you're sad. And so was that worth it?
Yeah.
Is what, if you're honest with yourself. Now, some people just keep trying to do it. And then they just continue in this loop of being.
No,
but some of us go, you know what, let me reconsider.
Right. I know that
Still going to be sad, but.
there are certain, each one of our kids that, and I include the adults, our adult children in this, each one of them have certain needs from me. And I'm at a point in my life where I don't need to, for them to come to try to make me happy.
Right.
So, because that was a thing, because I felt like, because I grew up like, I wanted to make my parents, my grandparents happy, and then they tried to do this and they made me happy. So I felt like that's what you wanted to do, and I wanted that. But what I've learned is that was me, that I have to, if I'm truly going to address their needs, then you address their needs. It's like, I had one of the older boys was like, why do you always, take Jack everywhere? He wants to go because that's what regulates him. That's what
Right.
makes him happy.
No, I always think
So-
how lucky we are because, like, I'm not as able, for my own regulation, to go as much as you are able to go. Like, you thrive on it. It does drain me. And so I need kind of a balance of, I like to see things. I love to adventure. I love to, but I also am somewhat like my daughter. I'm just not as extreme as her, but I'm somewhat like her and then I need time to just be in my house, in my space, and, not be, having to entertain anybody or, whatever. I need to be able to recover from that. You don't have that. You get energy from going and doing and seeing. You don't get exhausted from it. And so Jack is incredibly fortunate that he has a parent in his life who has the same situation he has, because he takes energy from it too. He does not get exhausted from it. And the just benefit he gets from the fact that you are down for that. Because to me and my other kids, who I want to say every single one of my other kids, every single one of them, we all have we need a minute. We need some time. We're social. Each one of us has a different amount of ability to socialize, from very little to a lot, but we all have the need to decompress and recover, because all of us, it is a depletion and we don't get energy from it, and only Jack's the only one who gets energy from it.
Yeah.
So for him to have a parent in his life who can have that same experience is incredibly beneficial, not just for Jack, but for the rest of us. And because, yeah, it does. It regulates him. He gets more and more dysregulated the more downtime he has.
Yes.
And that is
Which is why
an impossible situation.
Which is why he likes to ride his bike.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's moving. He's going. Moving, going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, some kids thrive on sports.
Yeah.
For that same thing. Like, Bubba was that way. But they also enjoy the athletic feelings.
Yeah.
He's a kid who does not enjoy the athleticism of anything. Thank you very much. Nope, I don't want to run. I don't want to,
unless it's Ninja Kids. That's a different kind of
because he's not recognizing that it's hard or he's breathing hard. But I'll tell you what, he stops the minute he starts, he's sweating, and he starts to get uncomfortable and stuff like that. He starts to get angry.
Well, I think a little bit of it is that the Ninja Kids thing, he's not competing.
Right.
So, because he doesn't like the competition.
No.
He doesn't like
But he also doesn't want to compete with himself.
No.
If he can't just do it perfect from the beginning.
Which is why
forget
when you watch him, and I don't want to get off topic here, but when you watch him with like his friends and they're all working on their bikes because they gravitate towards him because he's figured it out. Like he's cracked the code.
He's got some natural abilities.
Right. He's got some natural abilities. And because he's like non-competitive, he shares. Like he will take
Not really.
He will
You're
take
funny.
time. He will take time to work on their bikes.
Yeah, that's not sharing. That's him being the best at it. Because what I've also seen is that he doesn't like to share the knowledge. He's just like, just let me do it.
Well, that's true. but again, by doing that, he's not competing. He's not
exactly.
competing because he doesn't want to compete with anybody.
No.
Right.
Nope, he doesn't.
But
anyway, the dysregulation and going and transitions and travel it's just such a challenge, and it limits your options. I mean, just think about like our ability to experience something as a family.
Yeah,
we can't.
We
have to start thinking. Like, I literally had to tell my kids this last time that we went to Hawaii. I had to say, y'all are not allowed to be there at the same time. I want to enjoy time with each one of you, but when I put you all together, y'all, your needs and your issues and whatever are so different, and all of you all still are not in a place where you are being empathetic towards each other. Everybody's empathetic to Jack because he's still a kid, but they're not empathetic to each other because they're all in that adult phase where now they're extremely intolerant of each other. And so being in the same space is not enjoyable. Now, being in the same space with each one of them by themselves, I absolutely love. But when I put more than one of the adult children in the same space together, it's almost always stressful and hard, and because I've got two competing different needs, and each one of them wants what they want for their accommodation and their attention and all these different things, and that is just another symptom, right? Like, I can't have my whole family together for Christmas and it be a good idea. I can't have I can't have a big family. I see families all go to Mexico, with their adult children or whatever, and it's so cool. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. That would be such a nightmare with me and my kids. Or whatever, but even on smaller levels, like you and me thinking about going on a business trip to Seattle, it means we have to bring Jack.
Yeah.
Then we go, that's not a good idea. I don't want to take him out of his routine. Okay, who's going to go? You're going to go or am I going to go?
Yeah.
And that sucks for us because we're that's time away from each other. That's also time where one of us is solo with him.
Yeah.
And both of those options.
The last year.
That's how we've had to do it.
Last year.
Yeah.
That's how we've done it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, who's gonna go?
It's
We don't get to go
I can
together.
count on my hand the number of times we actually went together.
Yeah.
Or if you went first and then we came afterwards.
Right.
But
And then we
when
swapped.
Then we swapped.
Yeah. It's just travel and neurodivergent kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's travel anyway. That could be literally like you were saying. We
We
took
go to Houston. It's only 3 hours away. So it's an event.
It was. We took a road trip at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
And we went to from here to Louisiana, which is only.
We were supposed to go all the way to Florida coast.
We were going to go all the way to Florida.
Yeah. And come all the way back because we thought, okay, it's our trailer, so it's like familiar, you know, so it'll be like home like every night when we stop at a campsite.
Yeah.
We're just all together. We're not like on a flight where you're getting the weird flight feelings. You know, you're just driving, you're seeing things, get to the place, get to explore the place, stay there a couple days. We thought if we slowed it down where we got to stay in each place for a couple days, then that would help. Nope. Yeah. We made it as far as New Orleans, and he was like, "Can we go home now?"
Yeah, he was done.
He was like, "This is great." Yeah. Not really, but can we go home? Yeah. You know, he just wants to be in his routine.
He just wants to be in his routine.
Yeah.
What helps him regulate? So if you planning something that doesn't include him riding, it's going to be a task.
Even that did though. That was the thing that we made that a riding.
But even then, because it's not just riding. It's riding with a sense of freedom and a riding with his particular group.
Yep.
And when he can do that, so even when we go to Seattle and there might be a bike for him there, and that'll be a little bit, but the fact that he can't be with those people, it's out of his routine, and it will only last a little bit. And
good luck, Thomas.
Yeah.
We feel for you. We'll be in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's an interesting thing, and I think about that. These are things I never thought about before, but you're so correct. Getting out of the routine is you ask yourself, is it worth it? Because it does take a while to get them back in routine, and then and exposure therapy sometimes works, but sometimes it doesn't. I have my own wants for my son, and what I have come to learn is that it's okay for me to have those wants, but if I'm truly the father that I want to be, I have to understand that his wants are more important. His wants for himself. So I try to show him different things and I offer him, but I'm also now okay with the fact that the things that I like to do aren't what he likes to do. You gotta try to you gotta meet him where he's at. So you gotta meet him where he's he likes to go to comic book stores. He likes to do like Comic-Con. He likes to go to the bookstore. So and there's no end to, I mean, he could go to the bookstore every day probably. Oh, and that'd be fine. Yeah, like it's kind of like the same thing with the things that they eat, right? We can eat chicken nuggets every damn day. There's no getting tired of it for them. And just because you don't understand it, just because that doesn't make sense to you, doesn't mean there's something wrong with it for them. My son's graduation gift will be cash and a Barnes & Noble book, Barnes & Noble gift card. And you were like, oh, that's not a gift. He will be so absolutely ecstatic. The $1,000 he'll take when we go to San Diego Comic-Con. The Barnes & Noble card, he will probably take that weekend to go look at books, and he will be absolutely happy. He doesn't need a watch. He doesn't need a party. I mean, we'll go to dinner. He'll enjoy a nice acknowledgement. Yes. You know, he'll enjoy that. But if we had a big party situation like we had for Savvy, he'd be like, "No, that's why." Yeah, it's not. We're gonna. I'm gonna take. I'm like, where do you want to go to dinner? Let's go someplace to eat. We'll not like we all celebrate and be very loud. I'm hoping he won't say Jack in the Box. But if he does, we will all go. Well, if he does, that's where we'll go. We'll just sit down this time. Exactly. Won't be drive-through. Try to find a clean one. And he will enjoy his cash and his Barnes & Noble. And I absolutely believe that won't be the only Barnes & Noble gift card that he will get for graduation. Because that's what makes him happy. Right.
And it's hard,
yeah.
you know, it's like I said, it's the abandonment of the dreams and hopes and ideas and thoughts that you had about what this was going to look like. But also, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to see them smile? Because your ideas and your dreams and your thoughts and everything was because you thought that these were things that were going to make them smile. So once you give up what your idea was, and you then go to, all right, what's going to make them smile? Not what's my idea of what's going to make them, but what will make them smile?
Yeah.
You'll have better luck.
I freely admit that I thought that in the beginning when he started liking comic books, I was like, oh, I got him. This is where we're going to connect, right? Because I've collected comic books for years. And I thought, I'm going to give him he's going to inherit all my comic books. And we have that connection of we like to read and we like comic books. But he doesn't, like, what I like isn't what he likes.
Well, I was going to say, like, he's not comic books. He's manga and anime, which is different. It's in the same, realm,
but it's different. So he doesn't like the same. And he will read like some of the other traditional stuff, but he doesn't get into it like I did.
Right.
And then what I thought though is that was going to be
your bridge.
My bridge. You know, my that's going to be my door. I'm gonna hear. Oh, I like watches, so I get him a G-Shock. And oh, wait a minute. I like different colognes. Here, I'm going to buy this cologne for you, put your name on the bottle. And what I discovered was that I should just be happy with the connection that I have. Mm-hmm. And it may be one day he'll, on his own, come into those things. And then when that does, I'll be right there with him to be like, oh, let me show you something else. Let me help you on your journey. But to be happy with, this is where he's at. Mm-hmm. And which is why to correlate this with my younger son Jack is the fact that, you know, I don't know the mechanical parts. I've never been good with my hands like that. So I can't help him like physically with that
or
the bike,
work on the bike.
But what I do is I make myself available. I get him to the things that he needs to be able to do it himself, and I provide an environment where he feels okay being himself. And when he wants to burn, I allow him to burn the energy in the way that he can do it, and try not to be that, oh, he's going to hurt himself. And because I do have those feelings.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that the way he learns, he doesn't learn like, hey, if you do that, this will happen. He learns to doing that, and it happens, and he goes, yeah, I can't do that again. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, yeah, that's not a good idea. Why don't we try something over here?
Right.
That's what works. So I be there what I can.
Terrifying. It's awful, but it is what it is.
The little small window that I can to provide, and then I pour energy into that until the day comes when both of them, or any of my children, require something else.
I was gonna say we've got one who wants to travel. She will travel with us. At least we got one.
We got one.
You know,
she wants to go.
She's gonna be able to thrive on the whole. Hey, you want to go here? Hey, you want to go there? You want to do this? You want to do this? She'd be like, bet, I'm coming.
She was like, oh, y'all went to New Orleans? Oh, we're going again? Mm-hmm. We going when I come? And like, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get her to New Orleans.
I know. We all can't wait till she's 18 so that we can take her everywhere we want to go.
Yeah.
And you know, but I mean, I can legitimately say all of my kids, every single one of my kids does not want to travel the way that I want to travel. Not at all. No. Not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, even the ones who tolerate it the best still don't want to. I mean, like Tunes.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it for his, you know, because the rides and stuff. But even I mean, he's only 26, and you know, he's at like peak energy, and so I thought he was going to be one, and then he's like, I'm getting tired of traveling across the country. I'm like, wait, what?
No, listen.
I thought we were going to be doing this together in a minute.
Right. He will, but he likes to travel in his space. He doesn't like to travel in
Yeah, we tried.
Auschwitz.
Remember when we tried? We
Yeah,
did that last summer.
I was going to say that.
We kind of tried to caravan together across
Yeah.
country, and
He
he
did.
tolerated it.
When we went from here to Washington, and the
Finally,
first,
he was just like, "All right, so you guys
Yeah.
good? Because I think I'm just gonna cut out."
yeah, see you later.
Yeah, yeah.
He left.
Like, I love you, but I can't do this at the
No.
pace you do it. I can't do it the way you do it. I can't do it with you.
Yeah, he was not interested.
No, because
I
he
give
will
him credit.
go.
He tried.
He will go like 24/7 just to get from here to the destination.
Yeah.
The travel from here to the destination is brutal for him. He hates it. It's the destination that he wants to get to. So, yeah, he's not happy on the way there. And I am all about every piece of the travel.
Yeah.
I'm about the journey there. I'm about how we're getting there. I'm about the place we go. You know, like I'm about everything except, oh, it's time for the fun to stop.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yes.
You know, so, and the exhaustion. I don't like the exhaustion, but so anyway.
Thanks for
Travel.
listening, everybody. Travel, and for those out there who are like wondering how you do it, there's no
Blueprint.
There's no secret sauce. There's no blueprint. You meet your little
where
one
they're
at what they're at, and that's what you have to do. But if you want, please comment, like, and share. If you want to reach out to us, please contact us on social. It's a serious topic, and praying for everybody out there doing that, because I've experienced it myself. I hear and see you. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.